Welcome to the Turkey Hunter Podcast, the original all-turkey, all-the-time podcast with your co-hosts Andy Galliano and Cameron Weddington.
In our weekly podcast, we're going to bring you some wild turkey calling tips like this.
From there, we're going to go into, she's aggravated, there's another hen that's challenged her, or she's challenging another hen. She's going to cut an excited yelp.
Advice from old pro turkey hunters like this.
The turkeys typically don't like, I think, more times than not, to travel in an easterly direction into the sun first thing in the morning, especially after he gets up. It's a blinding thing. It's just like you. It's hard for you to see into the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have a choice, I'm going to try to make it so that I'm going to be on the west side in the morning, east side in the afternoon of a turkey.
Exciting live hunts like this.
Holy crap, they're coming. Holy cow. Oh, God.
Then we're going to teach you how to cook your bird with advice such as this.
With some fresh rosemary and garlic, and then cool that off and spread that along the inside of that butterflied turkey breast that we've seasoned on both sides.
Wildlife management tips for your property, especially with turkeys like this.
If you look at the type of habitats that turkeys need for nesting and brooding, that tends to be habitat that can be managed more successfully with growing season fire than with dormant season fire.
And hopefully along the way, we'll get plenty of these.
Well, on November the 28th of 1953, I was attached. When I popped out of my mom and the baby doctor spanked me on the bottom, I went, oh! And I've been doing it ever since.
I like that.
Thank you for tuning in. And now, for this week's show. Hello and welcome back to this week's episode of the Turkey Hunter Podcast. You are listening to episode number 533, Turkey Hunting with the Walking Dead. And I am your co-host and the guy who has his calluses built up in the inside of his mouth with the diaphragm calls already.
Very nice. I put mine in the truck a couple days ago. Been hammering down on it.
Uh-huh.
But I'm your co-host. And the guy, man, my mind is so clouded with thoughts of turkey season. I'm not the guy who's doing anything. I guess I'm the guy who hasn't slept in a while, and I'll be well-trained for turkey season.
Yeah, still no sleep.
Man, my newborn son sleeps great from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., so we do get that.
Y'all created a night owl.
Yeah, he loves his sleep from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, you just have to keep him up partying all day so he'll sleep all night.
Yeah. Well, we've tried that. That just makes him madder at night, I think.
Yeah, a couple of days I think will break him.
It's just the grind, man. There's no way around it with newborn. So it is good sleep training for me for turkey season. I will be ready.
Yeah. Well, I still chuckle about the thought of you needing to go on a turkey hunt to get some sleep, but
yeah, I can't wait to get away on a good turkey trip, going 90-0, but man, those 5 hours of solid sleep will be next level. I mean, right now it's 3 hours. The best gap of sleep I can hope for in life is 3 hours. So if I get a 4 to 5 hour solid in a row sleep, you won't be able to keep up with me. I'll be running over the mountains.
Awesome. There you go. Well,
it's
going to be here soon.
It will be here very soon. Very soon.
Countdown or looked at the countdown lately, but I'm going to pull that up and look at it right now because I am curious. We're under 60. Oh, yeah, we're almost 40 days. Let me see here.
I leave in 2 weeks for my first hunt of the year.
Excellent.
From tomorrow. 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Excellent. That's exciting stuff.
Yeah.
How about 33 days, 19 hours, 24 minutes, and 29 seconds until opening day of spring turkey season in Alabama?
Yeah, that's awesome. We're about 287 days, 14 hours, and 72 minutes from opening day in Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll probably have a half bird limit this year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. One egg.
Yeah. One bird limit per 10 years coming up. Season starts in June. It's great.
Uh-huh. That'll be a good time. Well, cool. So we've got a pretty interesting episode today. I got to tell you, our guest today is Steve Webb, and for probably good reason, you're going to know why he seems so happy and jovial as we get into this. And maybe he's been like that his whole life, but that dude seems like he just loves life and is, always in a good mood from talking to him on the phone. He just seems, nothing seems to bother him. And I guess, again, after you've been through what he's been through, it might change your outlook.
That's a fact, man. What a couple stories here. One about himself and then another one where he's guiding a turkey hunt. But man, I mentioned this. I met Steve last year and he told me this stuff and I thought, man, we got to get this guy on the show. Man, I love these shows where, he doesn't have a hunting channel. He's not a YouTuber, no influencer, but he's just a turkey hunter with an incredible story.
Yeah.
And I love when we're able to bring those kind of folks on the show and have them share their story for our listeners to hear. So,
yeah.
I don't know about you. Should we just go in here and do it?
Yeah, I guess let's preface it by saying it's a little unorthodox type of show for us because we're not going to talk so much about turkeys or turkey hunting, but we do get into some of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is more of a story time, I guess.
Yeah. Human interest story. How about that? So, but you guys are going to like this, and I'm going to tell you the story that he tells towards the end of the interview. If it doesn't make you stop and think and be thankful, and just be thankful that you've got your health and all of your senses, then I think there's probably no hope for you. So let's jump in and get going with this thing.
Let's do it. See you guys on the other side. Welcome back this week. We got an exciting guest to bring to y'all today that has got one heck of a story about turkey hunting that I'm going to go ahead and say 99.999% of people can never say they'll have this story from turkey hunting.
I hope not.
But this is Mr. Steve Webb. I met him last year in person, in the flesh, while turkey hunting out of state. And we were both chasing gobblers, and I killed one, and I think he got one a few days later because I got a picture of one. But, man, he told me this story one night. We were sitting in a parking lot talking to each other, just enjoying turkey stories and stuff, and I thought, we got to get this on the podcast because I hadn't heard one like this before. I've heard some tall tales about turkey hunting, but I hadn't heard one like this.
It is most definitely different.
Yeah. I've heard people say, he gobbled so close, he about gave me a heart attack, but you put a whole new level on that phrase.
Yeah, it was an exciting moment.
Yeah. Well, before we get into your story, tell folks a little bit about you. Where are you from? What are you doing?
Well, I was born and raised in a little town in Arkansas, in fact, where we met, I believe it was, and I joined the Army straight out of high school and give them 20 years of my life and ended up retiring in Oklahoma and going back to work for the military and still work for the military. So it's been an exciting life, let's just say the least. I've been a couple of tours of combat and lots of turkey hunting.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So you retired and went to work is what you just said.
Yes, sir. I retired after 20 years in the military and decided I was just going to retire and hunt, and it didn't work out that way. I decided it wasn't busy enough, so I had to find something to do. So I applied and went back to work for the military.
Man, well, good deal. And so you're in Oklahoma now and turkey hunting and back home and in Oklahoma and all over the place?
Yeah, turkey hunt as much as I can. That's the bad part, I did take a job. That's what kind of hurts turkey hunting. I don't get turkey hunting but about 30, 35 days a year now. Well, that's the whole season, but.
Mm-hmm. That's rough. That's rough, man. Oh man! And
In fact,
so
we just got back. Sorry about that. We just got back from the 50th anniversary of the NWTF.
yeah, how was it? Did you have a good time?
Oh, I had a blast. Of course, I ended up with more calls than I needed. And,
Yeah.
it's nothing new. That's what we do, I guess, if you're a diehard turkey hunter.
Yes, pretty much. Well, good. I'm glad you had a fine time up there. Was our mutual friend Scott McDonald there?
No, he didn't make it either. I did talk to him, but no, he wasn't up there.
Mm.
In fact, last time I got to sit down and talk to Scott in person was at Unicoi a couple years ago. I still talk to him often, but not in person.
I gotcha. Well, man, have you turkey hunted pretty much your whole life, or did you get into it a little later?
I called my first turkey in by myself at 11 years old.
Well, I'd say that's your whole life. That's a pretty good long while.
The guy that taught me turkey hunt, he's passed on now. He's my uncle, and he was on a hunting show in the early 70s when hunting wasn't popular on TV. He was invited to turkey hunt, and he got where we hunted right off of. And yeah, he was most definitely a diehard turkey hunter, and that's who taught me, and I've been doing it ever since.
Man, yeah, well, that's awesome.
So, how much traveling have you done in turkey hunting? I know you traveled a good bit with the military, but just traveling and turkey hunting, do you have a count on the number of states that you've hunted in and killed in?
I never have hunted. I think I've killed 9 or 10 states. I haven't tried to go after any slams. I had no intentions. I'm what I call just a diehard turkey hunter in my area. I go back to Arkansas every year. I hunt Oklahoma. I've hunted Kansas, Texas, different ones just right here close. I had no intention of ever trying to kill my Grand Slam until I just got a wild hair one day and said, hey, I'm going to kill my Grand Slam this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when all this stuff happened. It was actually the year we decided to kill a Grand Slam, which we did finish our Grand Slam, did not pay an outfitter, hunted all public land or private land of our own.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty amazing in itself.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Sweet.
Absolutely. Well, so I guess before we go into the story, Andy, do you want to do rapid fire Q&A with Steve?
I do. I need to step over here and ask and get my
I'll
questions.
explain it to him while you're doing
Perfect.
that.
I'll mute and you explain.
All right, Steve. So Andy's about to hit you with some questions about turkey and turkey hunting, and the goal is to answer them as accurately and as quickly as possible. It's all related to yourself. And so we time you and see who has the fastest time. And I can't remember who has the fastest time right now. Maybe, honestly, I don't know. I know it's not Will Primos. He took about half an hour. So we're going to time you. He's got, I can't remember how many questions it is, 30, 40 questions. They're easy. But if you're down to play, I think Andy will hit you with them.
Sure.
All
right, Andy, get him.
Yeah, it's 120 questions, and the person who answered the fastest was 2 minutes and 19 seconds.
Yeah, 300 questions.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
Yeah. Mostly geography based and science.
A lot of science.
Yeah.
And
I'm in trouble then.
Some
I'm from Arkansas.
heavy math too. So, but no joke, the fastest time we've had is, where is it exactly? It's 2 minutes and 13.96 seconds from another Southern boy, being Michael T. Simpson. So if you can beat that, that's pretty darn quick, I got to say. But we'll jump in and get going with this thing. I'll hit start on the timer as soon as I start the first question. And wild turkey, grilled, baked, or fried?
Fried.
Wild turkey on the rocks, neat with cola or with water?
On the rocks.
Number of Grand Slams?
1.
Ever killed a bearded hen?
No.
Have you ever killed a jake?
Yes.
A 10-minute successful hunt on a 2-year-old or a 4-hour-long hunt with a clean miss on a 4-year-old?
Both.
Favorite camo pattern?
Real tree.
Wild turkey legs for dinner or for the dog?
Dog.
More or less than 3 strikers in your turkey vest?
More.
The state you killed your first turkey in?
Arkansas.
The state you killed your last turkey in?
Arkansas.
Sit in the blind for 4 hours and squeeze the trigger, or run and gun for 1 hour and not shoot?
Sit in the blind.
Rios or Osceolas?
Rios.
Rios or Easterns?
Easterns.
Easterns or Merriams?
Easterns.
Fields turkeys or Woods turkeys?
Woods.
Shotgun scope, rifle sight, holographic sight, or beads?
Red dot. Holographic.
Rubber boots, leather boots, snake boots, or hiking boots?
Snake boots.
Favorite place you've ever hunted?
Oklahoma.
Most turkeys you've ever killed in a season?
9.
Least number of turkeys you've ever killed in a season.
1.
Out of all the states you've hunted, which state has the most uncooperative turkeys?
Missouri.
If you only knew how to imitate one turkey sound to call turkeys, what would it be?
The purr.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a turkey caller do you think you are?
9.
Favorite turkey hunting book?
Never read one.
Who taught you how to turkey hunt?
My uncle.
Think of the toughest turkey you've ever hunted. Did you ever kill him?
Yes.
Do you prefer long, sharp spurs or long, thick beards?
Spurs.
The biggest mistake turkey hunters make, new turkey hunters make.
Overcalling.
How long does turkey season last in heaven, and what is the bag limit?
I hope 12 months and a bunch.
All right. Tell you flew through that. That's 2 minutes and 36 seconds.
That was darn good.
Yeah, so you whooped guys like Dave Owens. You whooped, let's see, who else is on this list that you whooped? Jim Cassidy beat you by 2 seconds.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you whooped Andy Cantrell. Let's see, Darren Dawkins. You got quite a few. You beat Billy Yargis. You beat Walter Parrott. You did pretty darn strong. So that's really good.
That reading question throws me off. I'm from Arkansas. We don't read much.
Well, I can tell you, I'm the same. I'm still working on the same book I've been working on for the last 12 months, and it's just a matter of just sitting down to do it. And I seem to have 444 other things to do, and when I lay down in bed, my eyes fall closed. So I totally understand that. So I guess let's jump in and have us tell you a little bit about your story, about,
Okay.
You've been featured in the NWTF magazine. I think at that point in time, it was not Turkey Call. It was, what was it called prior to Turkey Call?
Oh, let me go look. I've got one of them.
There was Turkey Hunter. There was
Turkey Country.
Turkey Country was one.
Turkey Country. I'm pretty
Turkey
sure.
Country. Yep, that was before they rebranded the magazine and made it Turkey Call magazine. But tell us, start at the beginning of that story and tell us about it.
Well, I'll start where the great place is there. We started trying to kill our Grand Slam in a buddy of mine, which is also a common friend of the same person introduced me to Cameron. And out of the blue, we decided to kill a Grand Slam. So we went to Florida, drove 19 and a half hours, hunted a full 8 hours, killed 2 turkeys, turned around and left. I started having some chest pains about 3 or 4 weeks, maybe a month before that. The VA done EKGs, stress tests, lots of different tests on me. Couldn't find nothing wrong. Oh, you're fine. So I'm going to kill some more turkeys. So we went to Florida. We came back, and I had to go to a sleep study. And during that sleep study, I had him hooked up to an EKG. Well, the VA had not, they'd subbed it out, so a civilian contractor was doing it. And I had a thing show up on the EKG that's called Trisage de Pointe. And what that is, when the bottom half of your heart speeds up, quits pumping blood, you collapse, you die. No questions, undetectable. It's very seldom anybody lives through it. And so this contractor called the VA and said, hey, this guy's unstable. You got to get him in there. So they called me, and this is, like I said, I've been back from Florida maybe a week or 2 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
I go into VA, and they said, we want you to wear this heart halter for 48 hours. I said, well, can I turkey hunt? They said, as long as you're wearing that vest or that halter, you can turkey hunt. So I had to come back to Oklahoma, or came back home and went turkey hunting wearing this halter that's monitoring my heart to see if it's going to quit beating or whatever. And I killed me a big Rio. And you was asking that Jake question. Well, earlier in that or a couple days or a couple weeks or some day or two before we went to Florida, I don't remember exactly, I went to Henrietta, Oklahoma, and I called in a long beard, looked like he had a rope. He goes in behind a dozer pile so I could turn. And I turn, we're going to come out, and I'm going to kill him. As soon as he sticks his head out, I smoke him. And just as soon as I see him fall, I see another turkey fly. There was only one turkey there. I walked up and I shot a Jake. Had no clue he was there. So anyway, so now I've killed an Eastern, which was a Jake, my Osceola, and a Rio. I'm happy. And I killed Osceola wearing a vest. So I come in, I was telling my buddy, I say, I killed my Rio. And so that's my third turkey. My wife says, you can't count that Jake. I said, hold up. What do you mean I can't count that Jake? She said, it's a Jake. I said, okay, pack it back and get in the truck. So that evening, we left, drove 4.5 hours to Fort Chaffee, Arkansas, 3.5 hours or so. The next morning, still wearing the vest, I killed a long beard Eastern. in Arkansas.
Nice.
So now I killed 3. So we come back, and my buddy Russ, he's wanting to go to New Mexico. He had somebody out there that had this ranch that we could go out and hunt on. So we was going to go out to New Mexico and hunt on this ranch. We planned it for 2 weeks out, right before the season ends and stuff. And kept having these chest pains. And so I took that halter off. I was supposed to wear it 48 hours after I killed that eastern. I took it off and I sent it back to the VA. I get a call the next day as soon as they get it, because I one day it back to them, and they say, you got to get up here. I was like, okay. So I go up there, and they take me to see his cardiologist. And he's telling me, hey, you're unstable. We're going to do this dye test. We're going to test your heart right now. We're going to run dye through it. I was like, okay. Well, they didn't have the dye. Go figure, VA don't have something. They said, oh, we want to have it for 3 weeks.
Holy cow.
He said, we want to have it for 3 weeks. And this cardiologist says, oh, that's too long. No, this guy's unstable. This guy I talked to you about yesterday. They said, well, we can't do it. He said, I want him in a life vest. Now, all this time, I have no clue what he's talking about. I hear, yeah, my heart ain't supposed to, it's unstable, whatever. I don't know. So he puts me, he makes some more calls this insurance company and that's with the VA and says, hey, I need this paperwork proof. This guy I called you about yesterday. Then he calls the other person and says, hey, this is the guy I called you about. I said, boy, I was popping yourself a gun. Yes, evidently. He said, yeah,
every doctor in the country.
Yeah, he said, this is unbelievable. I said, okay.
He was saying, this is the greatest specimen I've ever seen in my life. You should see this man.
So this is like, I was still a little confused, didn't know what he's talking about, but they were doing the paperwork, and I said, well, you know what? While y'all doing this paperwork, I'm going to go over to Bass Pro, which is about, maybe 3 miles from the VA. And, every hunter's got to go to Bass Pro when they're that close. So I go over to Bass Pro, and I got a patience problem when it comes to stuff like that. And it was taking them a long time. So I told my wife, I said, man, let's go home. We'll come back tomorrow. And we got in the truck to leave, and they called me. Hey, we got this paperwork proof. We need you to come up and put this vest on. I said, man, I'll just come back tomorrow. He said, no, you need to come now. So I go up there, and my typical form, always question stuff. I said, look here, they're going to do the test in 3 weeks. I don't need this vest. I said, I'll be fine. I said, I'll come back in 3 weeks. And the nurse, bless her soul, had an attitudinal problem also. She said, look here, what you have kills people. She said, have you ever blacked out? I said, no. She said, if you do, you won't come back. She said, you put this vest on, the only time you change it is when you take a shower. And you take it off long enough to take a shower before you put your drawers back on, you put this vest back on.
She was serious, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah, she's alive.
Yeah. You got the point when she probably looking at you just as serious as anybody's ever looked at you in your life.
Oh, yeah. She said, you're not going to live if you black out. She said, you're going to die without this vest. This vest saved your life. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. But I took her point, so I wore the vest. And that was a Thursday. I remember distinctly Thursday afternoon about 7:30, 8 o'clock. I went to work next morning. You know those days when you just don't want to be at work.
I call that Monday through Friday, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Well, I worked till noon, and I thought, you know what? There's a turkey gobbling somewhere, so I'm going to take a little bit of leave, and I'm going to go turkey hunting this afternoon. So I took off Friday afternoon and went and roosted one, and my buddy Russ calls and says, hey, I'm going to take Dad in the morning. You want to go? I said, yeah, I'll go help you call. I said, I'm already, I'm down to my last turkey. I'm not going to kill another one in Oklahoma until later on. I said, I'll go help you call. Still wearing his life vest. And it has a box that goes on your side, which I didn't know at the time that we'll talk to you. So it'll be the next morning. It's been 36 hours since I put the vest on. And we're walking through the woods, and I get real dizzy. I mean, I'd had some pains and stuff, and I told Russ, man, I'm having chest pains. I didn't call the people who made the vest. They said, oh, no, you're fine. Your heart ain't been over 150 beats per minute. I'm thinking, that's pretty quick. But that's what they told me. So, and I figured that's when the big long bear was walking in. That's why I got so high then, but maybe I was wrong. So,
yeah.
Anyway, we started walking through the woods there, moving to a different spot, and all at once I started getting dizzy. And I told Russ, I said, hey, we got to stop for a minute, man. I'm dizzy as heck. I can't move. I'm dizzy. He said, man, you're wise as ghost. You need to sit down. So I sat on this little bank there, and the vest started going off. And it says, please stand back. Please stand back. Treatment will be administered. But they told me, if you're awake, do not let it shock you. There's 2 buttons you had to push simultaneously. Turn it off, which I did. About a minute later, it does again. Please stand back. Please stand back. Treatment will be administered. I shut it off. I don't know how long after that, but I wake up, and it's going off. It says, please stand back. Please stand back. Treatment will be administered. Well, I shut it off. I'm not dizzy no more. I stand up. I blacked out. I had to wipe the sand off forehead where I fell face first. And Russ's dad is putting his seat under my head because I'm laying on the ground. And I stand up, not dizzy. Say, hey, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go find out what happened. He's, just stay here. Russ wants to get the truck. Well, we're half a mile from the truck, and Russ pretty good feller. He played football for TCU, and he had run that half a mile as hard as he could sprinting. He was a lot worse condition than I was when we got to the truck. So, but I picked his stuff up. He left sitting there, and his dad's like, "I'll carry that." I got it. I'm fine. No, I'm good. I'm not busy no more. So we walk out, and sure enough, here he comes flying across this big wheat field and in the truck. And we jump in. And he's, we got to go. We got to do this. Ambulance on its way. So I don't need the ambulance no more. I'm good. And sure enough, we go down there, and the ambulance meets us, and they take all my vitals. Everything's perfect. So, of course, I refuse that. I'm not going to the hospital with them. I said, I just got to go home. I called the people because he says, "Man, I think you was shocked." I said, "Man, if I was shocked, I'd be feeling something. I'd be hurt or something." "No, man, I think you was shocked. You went into convulsions." And, "Yeah, I think you were shocked." I was like, "Nah, I don't think so." So the vest is called a Zoll Life Vest, Zoll, Zoll Life Vest. So I called Zoll. I had the number on the phone, and I said, "My buddies think I'm shocked, but I don't feel no different. I ain't been shocked." She says, "Do you have any blue gel on you?" I was like, "What do you mean?" She's, "The pads that shock you, one lays under your left breast area and two in the back." She said, "They secrete a gel to keep it from burning you if you get shocked." I said, "Oh." She said, "It's blue. You have blue gel." So I looked at my shirt, my whole chest blue, my back blue. I said, "I got blue
Wow.
gel everywhere." She said, "Then you've been shocked. How far are you from your transmitter?" Because they have a transmitter that transmits the data to them. So they monitor my heart remotely.
Wow.
I said, "I'm about 7 or 8 miles. She said, "Get your transmitter as soon as you can." So sure enough, they won't let me drive because I guess my heart quit stopped or something. So they're a little nervous. So we come toward my house. My wife is actually working on that Saturday, and I called her and said, "I'm fine. I got shocked, but just at work, I'm good." She's like, "No, I'm coming home." So she's on her way home. And if you know when I guess somebody that really cares for you gets scared, they don't listen to nothing, but anything takes care of you, that's my wife. So she's headed home. Well, when we got about halfway to the house, that transmitter picked up and sent them all the information. Instead of calling me, they called my wife. "You need to get him to the closest hospital. They're going to take him to the VA by ambulance." Well, the closest hospital is 35 minutes the wrong way. The VA is only 50 minutes the other way. So I was like, "No, we ain't going to the hospital. We're not going to Lawton. We're going to Oklahoma City." "No, that's not what they said. We're going." "Look here, just do it." And you can't tell her nothing. She's scared. So luckily for me, when we started pulling out of the driveway, they called back to see if we left yet. When they did, I said, "Why am I going to Lawton when I can go to OKC?" I'm right in the middle. She's like, "Are you still wearing a vest?" I said, "I am." She said, "Would you rather go to the VA?" I said, "Sure would." She said, "Go to the VA." So, of course, I tell my wife, "I told you so to go." So we head to the VA. About halfway up there, they say, "The VA's on divert. We can't take you. Go to Baptist Integrity." So I go to Baptist Integrity. I walk in there, and they called ahead. I walked in, and my wife dropped me off at the emergency room. It was like 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. I go in and say, "I need to check in." "Oh, fill this out right here." I'm filling out the paperwork, and my wife parks the car, and she come walking in. She says, "Oh, what's your name?" I said, "Steve Webb." She says, this woman all the way across the room hollers, "Hey, you need to stop what you're doing calling me now." So now I thought I'd done something wrong again. So I go back there, and she said, "We're supposed to take you to room number 4. Well, they want me back in the emergency room number 4. I remember distinctly. And they said, "Have a seat on the table of the bed." When I did, it looked like you threw a steak in a pack of wolves. They hit me from every side. They're trying to cut my clothes off of me. I said, "Hey, I can take my clothes off. Don't cut my clothes." They're washing the blue gel off of me. They're putting me in a new vest. They're putting in arterial veins. They're putting in EKGs, EEGs. They're going crazy. 10 minutes later, I've got an ER doctor in my room. 5 minutes after, I got a cardiologist in my room. And the cardiologist said, "Tell me what happened." I said, "Heck, I don't know. I blacked out. This vest evidently shocked me and brought me back." He said, "You're wearing a Zoll vest?" I said, "I am." He said, "I'll be right back." He leaves the room. Comes back about 3 minutes later. He's got 22 pages printed out of an EKG. And him and the ER doctor walk together and said, "Man, this is amazing. Wow, this is unbelievable." He said, "This is just unfathomable. You can't understand what this." I say, "Doc, when you're talking about my heart's words I don't want to use, unbelievable, incredible, that's some of it." Let's change the wording here. He's, "No, you don't understand." The ER doctor said, "I've been in the ER doctor 37 years. I've seen torsades twice. You're the second time. The other one was in it for 37 seconds, and he's no longer with us." You were in it for over 2 minutes, and you're here talking. This don't happen. He said, "In fact, I teach over at college. Can I use this EKG to teach?" He says, "We never see this anywhere but in a textbook." He said, "I'll redact your name." I was, wow. Long story short, I had 5 doctors ask me that same question. But they got me in the emergency room. Within an hour or less, probably 45 minutes, I'm in the ICU. They don't move near that quick nowhere. I'm hooked up to everything you can be hooked up to. I've got monitors all around me. I'm still wearing a life vest. my cardiologist is standing there. And I say, Doc, why the heck am I wearing this vest if I'm hooked up to all this stuff? He said, I'll explain it to you like this. He said, if I was standing right here, you had that same episode you had in the turkey woods, I've got a 6% chance of saving your life without that vest. He said, and it goes down 1% every minute. So by the time I get the crash cart and get it to you, you're dead. He said, that vest saved you.
Wow.
Well, I wore the vest for they told me there's 3 things that caused it. Side effect of medication, which I didn't take no medication, so I knew that wasn't it. Hereditary, which I have a sister that blacks out occasionally, but I think she's crazy and I don't think that has anything to do with the heart. So I didn't think that was it. They started blockages in the heart. So they run the dye through my heart, and sure enough, I had 3 blockages. 1 the widowmaker and 2 on the backside of my heart.
Yes.
So the doc said, well, we can fix them with stents, but it can come back in 5, no more than 10 years, you'd probably have trouble again. Or we can go in and fix it. I said, well, I went to the Army when you went to college. You're the one smart enough to tell me what I should do. He said, I think about the surgery. I said, let's cut that son gun open and let's get it done. So 4 days later, we had an open heart surgery. They took the vest off of me when they slid me from the gurney to the operating table. I wore the vest for that. That's how much faith they had in that vest and how much faith that they thought it could happen again.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So, but in typical fashion, though, of a turkey hunter, I was a turkey short. I hadn't killed my Miriam. So I was a little bit upset that I hadn't killed my single season Grand Slam.
Yeah.
And they first started talking about maybe if it was hereditary, they could put it in the defibrillators. You're going to put it in the left side because I shoot right-handed. I ain't going to quit shooting. So, and they didn't have to do that, though. They did the surgery, and 12 months later, we loaded up, went up on the South Dakota border there in Nebraska, and I killed my Miriam. The first turkey we killed up there, Russ actually killed the first turkey up there, and he was on top of one of those mountains out there, and it was sand. And that's when I knew my heart was good, because we walked all the way top that mountain and him gobbling. I bet he gobbled. I've never heard turkey gobble as much as that one gobbled. And we went up that thing, and, when one's gobbling hard, you got to run fast. So I could see my heart going up that mountain. It was jumping out about 3 foot out of my chest. It was beating that hard by the time I got top of that hill.
Yeah.
But it was pretty rough. But no, it was all good. It's been 10 years now, by the way. And we killed that turkey, and about an hour and a half later, I killed mine. So we drove 9.5 hours or 10.5 hours, I think it was, to Nebraska, and got to hunt a whole 7 hours. So Florida and Nebraska, we hunted a total of 15 hours to kill our turkey.
Jeez. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
Sometimes it happens that way. It's always nice when it does.
Yeah, it was pretty remarkable.
Well, it's probably a little quicker when you didn't die on the hunt, I assume.
Well, yeah, it kind of disappointed me. I didn't get to kill them all in one season, but I guess, it come out a cool story out of it.
Well, I mean, you got 3 legs of the Grand Slam and died, and then came back and killed the 4th one. So I got to say, I think yours is more impressive than a single season slam.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. It was pretty funny. Now that I look back on it, it's really funny. I guess at the time, I never thought much about it. Everybody else does. They're like, you died in turkey woods. Well, yeah, I did.
So to you, it was like you just kind of passed out for a second.
Right.
And then when you woke up, your buddies, were they just like, holy like, did they kind of know what had happened?
Yeah. Yes and no. Russ actually went with me to the NWTF this past weekend. We spent 4 days together down there, and we told this story a few times. And as he put it, I watched his eyes roll back in his head. He was dead. He said, there was nothing I could do. He said, I watched him literally die in the turkey. He said,
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it was, him and his dad got to see a sight that I didn't get to see, because they got to actually witness the shocking, the whole 9 yards. But it was most definitely different.
Yeah, that's different.
I was having a great season. Actually, I had a heart monitor, and I killed 2 turkeys wearing a heart monitor.
Yeah. I'd like to see the doctor probably was like, can I use those charts for the college as well? This is what a turkey can do to a man.
Yeah, I should have.
See this giant spike? That's when the turkey drummed a little close.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's funny you say that, because the one I killed in Arkansas, that turkey the turkey, because there's always one that figures out a way to get right on top of you without you being able to shoot it.
Yeah.
This turkey was coming in, and there was a little cedar tree. It fell. They cut it out there, and some way he got behind that cedar tree, walking straight to me, and I could not shoot him. I shot him at 4 steps when he walked around the cedar tree.
Good.
So yeah, I'm sure that heart was up, and I watched him drumming. It was Eastern, of course, being in Arkansas. He was something else. I heard him gobbling a lot, and he was actually across 2 fire breaks and a blacktop road in an area I wasn't signed in to hunt, because you have to sign in certain areas on an Army base. And I just started messing with him a little bit. I got him fired up. He was just hammering. And I quit calling because I knew he wasn't coming across the road. It's an Eastern. They ain't crossing no roads. And I waited probably 10, 15 minutes, and I putted a couple times. And next thing I know, I was right there with him. Oh, shoot, he's crossed these roads. Sure enough, that old heart just got to pumping a little bit. I'm sure that was all on the monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the moment when he crossed the road. This is right before I shot.
Yeah, I'd like to look at that one. I bet that was pretty neat. Now you mentioned, I never had thought of that.
Yeah. This is after I missed him 3 times and I basically flatlined.
Yeah. That would happen. I might have died.
Yeah.
York. The bad part is shooting one that close. That's the ones I'll miss because my gun shoots so tight. I won't be on him good or something. I like to be out there a little bit, but no, it was funny.
10 years ago, you died in the turkey woods, and you're still rolling turkey hunting all spring.
All spring, yep.
That's great.
I told the guy this weekend, I said, a lot of people look at that doctor saved my life. I said, that's what I look at. They saved my life. But there's turkeys all over this country wishing I'd have died.
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yes, there is.
That's fantastic. Yeah, they got you, but you came back.
Yeah, I told them, this turkey is just wishing I'd have died because I'm going to take it out on them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm going to ask you a question that no one can answer.
Okay.
So, but it's strictly your opinion.
Okay.
So you had this vest on, but you had 2 buddies with you hunting. Do you think if they had been with you if they had not been with you, I'm sorry, that the story would have the same ending?
Yes, I do, honestly, because they never touched me or anything. They didn't have to help me out of the woods. I walked out of the woods. After I was shot, because like I said, the heart it was beating 250-something beats a minute.
Holy cow.
Is what it said. And the bottom half of your heart just speeds up, and that's what it was. It was just fluttering. It wasn't really pumping. It was fluttering, and that's why it was so high. So it was not pushing blood through my heart.
Right,
so when
yeah.
the electric hit me, it put it back in rhythm.
Right.
So it just jump-started the car.
Yep.
It started. So when I got shot, and like I said, I woke up him putting a pillow under my head or a turkey seat, I had no pain, no dizziness, nothing. It was just like every day. I picked the stuff up, walked out of the woods.
Yeah.
The only difference is I might not know I was shot.
Yeah. I mean, you had
I got home.
They had to basically tell you that you were shot. Look for blue stuff. If you have blue stuff on your chest, then you've been shot. So.
You're right. And I wouldn't known to call Zoll. Well, I take it back. I would have, because Zoll told me that if this vest ever goes off, you call us. And when he started talking to me, I known to call. Now, would have I walked back to the truck and got in the truck before I did all that? Of course. And I'm sure I'd probably made it to the truck because I never had another episode. I still had chest pains occasionally, sitting in the hospital, but nothing bad after I got shot.
Yeah.
So I think, yes, I would have walked out of it. It's like you said, it's opinion. That's my opinion. I don't know for sure, but I think so.
Yeah.
I gave people a hard time about Zoll. I told them I need to be their spokesman because they're using me, and I'm not getting paid for it. A little disappointed in that. My mother-in-law had to put on a Zoll life vest a few months ago, 7-8 months ago. She was having heart problems. They put a vest on her, probably a year ago now. And the guy that put the vest on her was telling her, "Oh, these vests can save your life." There was a guy hunting in the woods, and he fell out. And this is a doctor. My mother said, "Yeah, I know that. That was my son-in-law." So they're telling my story, but I ain't getting no money out of it.
I don't know. I'm gonna say on the spectrum, you got your money's worth out of Zoll. I would say they you came out on the top end still with your relationship with Zoll.
Right. I'm figuring that's about right, but I sure would like a paycheck for it. Always wish, right?
They probably figure we saved the guy's life. I think we're square. We're good.
It'd be nice to supplement your retirement and have a little bit extra turkey money, I mean, Uniform is expensive. Nashville's not cheap either.
It would be nice to put like a Zoll sticker on my turkey vest.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. If any representatives from Zoll or turkey hunters and listening to this show, make sure you reach out, get sponsor Steve, and send a couple $1,000 check to the Turkey Hunter podcast for this free advertising.
But
Yeah.
What do you
So-
think? Let's talk about another story I've got. That's a great story.
Bring it on.
I guided turkey hunts for a gentleman here in Oklahoma for a while, and that's actually how I met Russ, guiding. And I worked for the Warrior Transition Unit, which is active duty soldiers that got hurt and had to have at least 6 months of care to the hospital.
Mhm.
They would put in this unit especially for them, and I worked for them. And I did their family advocacy stuff, and any trips that was donated for them to go hunting in Wounded Warriors, they'd call me. Well, I had a guy call me that his name is Dr. Stanley McGowan. He crashed a plane when he had about 19 and a half years in the Army, and his face hit the panel of the plane when he crashed it, and it broke and cut both his eyes out. So he's blind. He has prosthetic eyes, but such an amazing guy. He was actually my guest speaker when we closed it down. I think he's wrote 2, maybe 3 books now, lots of articles in hunting magazines. He went on after he'd done this to get his PhD in Texas history at TCU. Well, he wants to donate a turkey hunt. I told him, hey, that's my passion. I said, he wants 6 soldiers. I said, I'll bring them up. I said, if y'all need help, I will help guide. He said, man, we need guides. We're short guides. I said, well, I don't know the area, but I know turkey. You tell them where they're roosting, where they're feeding, I can do the rest. He said, oh, we can do that. So sure enough, we go down and I meet him and we talk. And one of the guys said, hey, let's all the guys get out here. So let's 3 or 4 or 5 of us went out there and we're talking. And I told them the same thing. I said, hey, I don't know this area, but I do know turkey. I said, I just need to know where they're roosting, where they're feeding, where they travel. I said, I can do the rest. I can put the rest. I said, just tell me who to take. And one of the guys who was charged kind of said, hey, let's let him take Doc. So I looked a little crazy there, like, who are they talking about? And the other guy said, hey, that's a good idea. He can take Doc. So I'm thinking, okay. First, okay, you're going to take Doc. I said, whoa, time out. I said, I got a couple questions. Well, I said, okay, what's your question? I said, the only doctor here I know is Dr. McGowan. Yeah, Doc. I said, okay, just in case y'all hadn't noticed, y'all have known him a long time. I haven't. He's blind. Somebody can tell me how this works. Oh, it's easy, they said. He's got a red dot on his shotgun. You sit over in behind him, look over his shoulder, you tell him, he'll have it on his shoulder, and you just say left, right, up, or down. If you say right and he goes too far, you say left, he goes back halfway. Very precise.
Oh.
I was like,
wow.
I said, okay. They said, if you say anything that sounds like shoot, it's going down range. He's pulling that trigger. Okay.
So don't use the word stop, I guess. You don't start with an S on anything.
Exactly. Well, I learned that the hard way.
Don't say I got to poop.
Yeah.
Right. I learned that the hard way. We go set up, and there's a big wheat field to the east of us and another one to the west of us, and we're kind of a little travel pattern on a little field that goes between the two, and there's 2 wooded areas, and it's just a perfect travel for turkey. I mean, it would just set up perfect. Well, we get up there, and he's got a turkey chair, and he gets in and gets on his shooting sticks. I get behind him, and I hit a call, and turkey's gobble. I can tell it's Jake, but he don't care. I mean, the guy's blind. We're not going to, pink straws here.
Yeah.
So I start calling, and they come running just like Jake's do. I had a decoy set out there, and they're running out. I said, Doctor, come to you. I can hear him. I was like, all right, get ready. They're going to run out front of there. Well, they stopped about 10 yards short. And under my breath, I was disappointed they stopped. I said, shoot. Boom! Gun goes off. I said, oops. He said, when we shoot, did you? I said, no. But that's all right. So the turkey started around behind us, being Jake's. They don't leave. They just stand there. And you can hear them gobbling, scratching. They're just right there by us. He said, hey, am I going to kill one of the turkeys? I said, Doc, let the turkeys go. I don't care about the turkeys. He says, let them go. We'll sit here and kill one in a few minutes. And we probably sat there 2 hours because, you can't get up and run and gun with a guy that's blind. Makes it a little harder.
Yeah.
So we was sitting there and we was talking and just getting to know each other pretty much. And like I said, I had a decoy out there, and I hit a call on this turkey. I mean, you can barely hear him gobble. But it's a Rio, so that's a good thing. I waited about 5 minutes, and I hit a call again. He double gobbles. I said, okay, he's coming. Well, there was a creek over there on the other side of that wheat field, and he was on the other side of that creek. But those jakes came from the same direction. So I waited a few minutes, and I called, and he gobbles way down here. He'd come on south down there, down that field. And when I found out later, there was a tractor crossing there with a culvert. So he was coming down across that culvert. But he's still a long quarter from us. So I call again, and he gobbles in the wheat field. So I told Doctor, hey, he's coming. Big old wheat field. I said, he's coming. I said, I want to practice a little bit. I said, I want to get you on that turkey, that decoy's head, so I know how to get you moving. So I got him up, I got his stick, and I told him left, right, whatever. And bang, he's perfect. I moved his gun. I said, all right, do it again, Doc. Left, right, bang, he's right there. I mean, he's very precise. I said, okay, well, he's coming from our left here, Doc. Turn your gun over there. Got him set up over there, And I looked through the red dot, and I looked at turkey, that decoy's head. I said, Doc, you're too high. Come down. I said, okay, about right there's where I want you. So I hit a call, and he gobbles. He's a lot closer. I waited a couple minutes, and I hit a call, nothing. I hit a call again, nothing. I thought, okay, he's coming. And it may be 2 or 3 minutes, I see him walk through the gate. Now that we feel right going to come right between us down that little path like he's supposed to. And I tell Doc, he's in the field with us, so don't move. And you can hear him drumming. Doc said, I hear him drumming. I said, okay, don't say nothing else. He's right here. And sure enough, he walks over when that red dot touches his head. I say, shoot. And he pulls that trigger, and that bird flips flat of his back. He flips straight over, dead.
Wow.
Nice.
I don't know who was more excited, Doc or myself, because, I compared that to my kids killing their first turkey. It was just that exciting a moment.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, that's epic.
I jump up and I run out there like a turkey hunter does, and I stand on him where he can't flop off, and I'm holding his feet so he don't scratch me. And after he quits flopping, I lay him up beside the decoy, and I walk over to Doc and say, hey, Doc, I'll walk out and get the truck. You just want to sit here until I get back, or what are you going to do? He said, help me up. I want to get my hands like turkey so I can see him.
Oh, that's
so I help
awesome.
him get up. He walks out there, and he's feeling his whole turkey, feeling his spurs, his beard.
That is awesome, man.
That's absolutely epic.
So I tell everybody that's probably 2 of the craziest turkey stories you'll ever hear.
Man,
Yeah.
I love that. That's so, not really comparable. Blind is definitely next level turkey hunting blind. We've had a guest on here actually who is blind and still turkey hunts. So it's possible,
Yeah, this guy here he is amazing. He killed an elephant in Africa.
Wow.
Blind?
He's blind, yes. He killed an elephant, a sable. He had to hold it. I watched the video, and he's, needless to say, he's got a sense of humor. We'll be sweet about it because we're on recording here. But if you say something crazy, he will bust you. And what I mean by that is we're watching this video, and they shot the elephant at night because it was coming into a village and destroying their crops.
Yep.
It's a rogue elephant. They had to shoot him. So they went there at night to shoot him. So the guy telling the story, he was the PH from Africa, and he was like, yeah, hunting elephants always dangerous, but when you hunt them in the dark, it's even worse. And Doc's down Mr. B says, I always hunt in the dark. So, it's stuff like that. That's just how he is. So he is an amazing guy. But yeah, get to witness that the first time you ever meet him, take him, he kills a turkey, you're a part of it. It was just,
yeah, man, that's special.
yeah. So it was most definitely. Hell, he told me, he said, all right, when we get back to the clubhouse, don't tell him we killed her, or the bunkhouse. He said, don't tell him we killed one. I'm a carpenter. I love to play poker. Got a pretty straight face. I couldn't have hid that. There was no way. They knew as soon as we pulled in by my face that we killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I couldn't hide that one.
That is so cool. Man. Well, Steve,
Yeah.
I got to tell you, you got 2 good stories, man. I bet every turkey convention or whatever you go to, whoever you run into, you got 2 you can pull out that nobody's heard.
I told it to Michael Waddell at the NWTF 2 years ago when I was over there. And I told him, I said, you want to hear the coolest turkey story you ever saw? I told him the one about the heart. And he's like, yeah, I never heard nothing like that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. That one doesn't happen every day. That's for sure. And so I do appreciate you taking your time to come on here and share both those stories are just incredible, and sharing that with us and our listeners. So now everybody's heard it. All 5 listeners have heard it. It'll circulate among the ranks.
That's right.
But
well, hopefully it'll build it to 6. Maybe you'll get 6.
yeah. If you tell your mother-in-law about us, maybe she'll listen in.
Or tell the doctor about us, and you never know, the doctor may turkey hunt. So
you've named like 4 people. If you'll tell them about us, that'd get us up to 9, 10 people almost.
Just about double our listenership for sure.
Yeah, it is crazy, and like I said, that's the first time I've ever told it on the air or anything. It was actually put in 2 magazines. It was put in Oklahoma Hunting and Fishing magazine first. That's the guy that actually wrote the story. Then he sent the NWTF, and they fine printed it, if you know what I mean. His writing skills wasn't near as good as their writers. Let's just put it that way. But he did a good job, but they fine tuned it and put it in there. So it was most definitely a crazy season.
Man, that's awesome. Well, Steve, thank you so much for joining us. I know Andy's got to hop off here, so we're going to wrap this thing up. And I wish you all the luck in the world this turkey season coming up. It'll be here soon.
Well, hopefully we'll see you here about a month or so in Oklahoma.
You may do it.
All right, well, thank y'all for having me.
All right. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
All right.
For sharing.
Steve.
Yep. Stay safe out there now.
Thank you. Y'all have a great
All
day.
right, thank you too. Goodbye.
That was
Man,
awesome.
That was awesome. And I'm in no way making light of this, but you could tell he was choked up telling the story about the doc. And
Yeah.
how can you not appreciate that when someone says, bring him over here, I want
To see him.
to see him. I
That's
want
so
to feel
cool.
him so I can see him. I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
that is something else. And we take it's stories like this, meeting people like Steve, meeting people like Doc, that I think we have to get from time to time just as reminders to remind us that, okay, maybe we're struggling to get the truck payment made. Maybe we're struggling to keep the gas bill paid. Maybe we're not buying all of the groceries that we need, but we're still buying enough to get by. Or maybe it's not even that bad. Maybe we just are having a tough week, month, quarter at work. Maybe, our truck broke down because, all this stuff seems to happen at one time. Truck broke down, air conditioner went out at the house, and
It comes in threes.
dues
Always.
it's dues time for the hunting club.
Yeah.
And you're sitting here just stressing out because you're like, man, I don't want to let my hunting club membership go, but I've got to get to work. So the truck's got to be fixed. I'm not going to live without air conditioning, which I think half the country would be happy to live without at this time of year, but you get the point. And it's stories like this that make us realize that so much of what we stress about and are anxious about that cause us to go through temporary bouts of depression, that kind of thing, they're all minor and they all will pass. And you get somebody like Steve on here who he died while he was turkey hunting and was shocked back to life. He got a second chance.
Yeah.
And you have somebody like Doc who is living every day to the fullest, and just so appreciative of what he does have. He can feel that bird and see him that way. And, we have a lot to be thankful for. We really do. And so I'm, like I said, it's a talk with somebody like Steve just puts things in perspective for me. It's a good reset. I know I need that from time to time. I'm sure a lot of you listening are the same way.
Yeah, it is that. I mean, it would have to change your perspective. I feel like I really enjoy every morning I get to sit in the spring woods and watch them wake up. And I imagine for Steve, after dying, there's a whole new level to the enjoyment you get from a spring morning and waking up.
Yeah.
Golly. But man, what a story, and both of them, like you said, and money and all this stuff you can acquire and everything. You don't have anything if you don't have your health. So you got to be so thankful for your health every day that you do have. It's that's something you can't buy. If it goes away, even the best doctors in the world, they might be able to help some, but they may not get it back for you.
Very true.
So,
very true.
But great show. I really enjoyed it. I hope everybody enjoyed that story. We got some more good episodes coming up for everybody. We've got turkey calls need to be bought. We got them. The website for a while there said we were sold out. We are not. You can buy the Batwing calls. Make sure you go get some calls. I did want to give a shout out to my buddy Matthew Bowman, who's a guide in Hawaii, and tell him thank you for his order of, I don't know how many he bought, 20 calls, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
15, 20 calls.
A bunch of them.
He buys them every year. He's out blowing the reeds out of them, I guess, at those Rios in Hawaii. So. I don't know if he does that or gives them to his clients or what, but he loves them, and I can tell you why. They kill turkeys. So
no doubt.
If you need a new diaphragm call to play on, go check them out. They're on the website. I think they're great. I have a lot of spurs on the wall who would agree that they sound good.
Yes, indeed. Those calls have fooled a few turkeys.
Yes, they have.
So, do that. And man, just if you're not practicing, you might be selling yourself short when you get out in the woods.
If you're not practicing now, just don't leave them for me.
That's right. if you're not in the gym getting physically ready for season, then, well, you might be missing out on an opportunity there too. So
Yes, sir.
it's time, folks. It's time.
You're not waking up every 3 hours and getting screamed at. You're not training right for sleep. It's time.
You should just start a service for people.
Turkey
I'll
sleep training.
Yeah.
I'm gonna load you my boy every night.
I'll call you every 3 hours.
Let him yell at you through the phone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Get you in that sleep pattern so you're ready to rock and roll come opening day.
There you go.
Because those first 2 weeks or so of season, and it seems like it gets longer and longer every year for me to get my body adjusted to no sleep.
Yeah.
It's man, that's tough.
Man, it is. There definitely is a point though, and like it's a noticeable point of like your body adjusts, and all of a sudden you're just cruising through like the middle. I don't know, 2/3 of the season, and then right there at the end, I usually start getting fatigued again.
Yeah,
but it's like the beginning, your body, you're just like, oh gosh, I feel so tired all the time. I'm not used to this. And then that middle portion, you're just like on cruise control. I'm just a robot. Wake up, hunt, work, sleep. Wake up, hunt, work. Oh man, I can't wait. I can't freaking wait.
I know it. I'm stoked about it.
All right, we gotta quit talking about it. I'm not able to think about anything else all day.
Yeah.
All right, you want to wrap us up? We'll see everybody next week.
Let's do it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. We know that you have choices. We appreciate you spending your time with us. We hope you have a wonderful week and look forward to seeing you again next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. You were just listening to the Turkey Hunter podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please go on over to iTunes and leave a 5-star review. And make sure to head over to www.iamturkeyhunting.com to subscribe for free turkey hunting tips, tactics, strategies, and product reviews to help you have a more successful turkey season. And stay tuned for upcoming episodes on hunting afternoon birds, how to film your hunt, and the breeding cycle of hens, as well as some guest interviews. Thanks again for listening. We know your time is valuable, and we appreciate you sharing some of it with us. See you next week.